All of these lines across my face tell you the story of who I am. So many stories of where I've been and how I got to where I am. So I've had so many students reach out to me who said, Lauren, I know you're a big Brandi Carlile fan. Could you please do a Brandi Carlile guitar lesson? And that's what we're going to do today. So let's talk about the chords we're going to be using for this song. Just want to make note, you guys can see my orange Kaiser capo here at the 2nd fret. So we're going to be playing all the chords relative to the capo. Now we're going to be using 4 chords. We're going to be using an A major chord. We're going to be using an E major chord, a D chord, and an F sharp minor. Now I know what you guys are saying, Lauren, that's a bar chord. It is a bar chord. If you don't know them yet, all you have to do to keep it simple is just move your A chord down to the bottom 3 strings. It's not gonna be the best sounding F sharp minor chord, but it'll work for the beginner level. So there's one more special chord we're gonna use. It's an A sus4 chord, and from your A major chord, all we have to do is put our pinky down on the 3rd fret at the 2nd string. Now this might be awkward for you guys if you've never done this before, so maybe practice that, because we're gonna be putting the pinky down and lifting it up. So we're gonna leave the 3rd finger down, because this provides a really cool picking opportunity for the intro of this song. All right, but there's a little bit of a trick to it, so let's get into the lesson. So this intro starts off with picking, and we're picking an A major chord. Okay, so we're going strings 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3. Here comes our A sus4. We strum down. Okay, so it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you repeat that whole thing again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, one more time without me talking over it. And the picking pattern, I'm using that just so you know, I'm going down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. So once we get into the verse section, we're going to start strumming, and it has a really cool strumming pattern. We're going to be doing all 8th notes for this. It's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Now we're going to be doing something special with that. We're going to be accenting the 2 and the 4, because that's what Brandi does in the song. She kind of goes... Okay, and we're doing this twice for every chord. So our chord progression is going to be, it's going to be a double A, double E, F sharp minor twice, double D, then we have A, E, F sharp minor D, A, E, and then at the end, we have a very fancy suspended chord that comes in. So let me play through and I'll tell you guys what's going to happen at that part. So if we start on A, it's going to sound like this. It's going to be 1 and 2. Story of who I am. So many stories of where I've been. And I got to where I am. And 2 and 3 and these stories don't mean anything. And you got no one to tell them to. It's true. I was made for you. Ooh, so you heard the suspended chord came back in at the end there. So what was I doing? So when the 3, the 3rd beat comes in, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So from the D chord on that last line, so tell them to, it's true. I was made for you. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2. I climbed across the mountain tops and then it starts the whole thing all over again. So the energy of the song really comes up in this solo section, and when my band and I used to play this live, we had so much fun playing this song because you can really get the dynamics of your strumming up, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do here. All right, so what am I doing? You can see we got a lot more strumming coming in here. We're building the dynamics. So if you're more at the beginner level, you might want to stick with that first strumming pattern. But if you're a little more late beginner to intermediate, this is a great way to push your strumming. So this solo starts out much the same way as our verses, and we're just going to be doing the simple. It starts out as eighth notes, but once you get to the part where the chords are only one measure, so it's one measure of A, one measure of E, one measure of F sharp minor, one measure of D, we're going to change our strumming pattern. And if you go and listen to Brandi play this, you're going to hear, because the whole band, the whole dynamics of the song, the energy level comes way up at this point. So the strumming pattern we're going to be doing is 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 and okay, so this is a 16th note strumming pattern. Remember, 16 notes are count 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. So we're going 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 and. So now let's put in the downs and the ups, and we'll start with the first half. So it's going to be down, 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 up. Okay, so it's 1 and 2 and up. So 4 downs with an up on the end. And that up is a little bit quicker because it's a 16th note. So 1 and 2 and up. Okay, that's the first half of the pattern. The second half of the pattern is going to be down, up, down, 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 up. 3 E and 4 and up. Again, down, up, down, 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 up. So the second half will sound like this. Okay, and if we put those together now, okay, it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 and down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. And of course, this song, it's very fast, so once we pick up the speed, it's going to sound like this. Now, before we switch into that strumming pattern, there's a little bit of a crescendo that's going to happen on the D chord before we switch over patterns. So at the end of that progression, there's a double D, right? So we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Well, the first D we're going to do normal. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so there's a little bit of a build. So I do this by starting soft and also hitting less strings. And as I get bigger, I hit more strings and I make the guitar get louder. We call this a crescendo, which is a great transition into this new strumming pattern. So this strumming pattern is going to continue all the way to the end until we get to our A sus part, where we go back to eighth notes and we have our. So if I play the last 10 measures of the solo from that D chord with the crescendo, it would sound like this. I'll go a little bit slower so that you guys can try playing along with me. So we got the D, 4, we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. then when we start the next verse, we just strum that A chord once, Brandi sings over it, and then we get back into the regular strumming pattern. So the last thing I want to make a note of is the ending for this song, where we're just going to strum an A chord for a measure, we're going to strum an E chord for a measure, and then we're going to end on the A chord. If you guys really love the strumming intricacies of this lesson, then you're gonna love all the strumming work I do in my Melissa Etheridge Come to My Window lesson. We do lots of dynamics and you guys are gonna love it. So I'll see you guys over in that lesson video.